Hi guys, it's me again, KO Cool. What's up? What's up, yeah? Well, I just thought I'd do a little update on Mr. Aaron Carter. As you all know, he passed away 2 weeks ago, and it's very sad. And I'll tell you what's sadder is watching everyone in the community on Instagram, all the different people that hung out with him. They're all hating on each other, saying, you did it, you did it, you did it, you did it. But let me just remind you all, the evidence is going to come out soon. And it's going to come out with all the autopsy findings. Now, you are aware that when someone is placed into a bathtub and they're already passed, they're not going to inhale water into their lungs because they're already passed. So that is going to be a huge indicator. If it's found out that he was already passed and put into the tub with no water on his lungs, then we got some serious issues. If it comes out that he does have water on his lungs, well, that could mean that he did actually pass out, couldn't it? I mean, think about it. He's just really out of it. And he was drinking lean, just to let everybody know. He was on the No Jumper podcast 3 weeks previous to his passing, and he was off his chops. And even Adam said, man, are you drinking lean? I've never seen something looked like that, and it was purple, obviously. And I just think that's really sad because Aaron was doing a lot better leading up to this untimely passing. Now, lean can make you real sleepy, so there's a chance. But I know everyone is fighting within the Aaron Carterverse community of all the different people. They're pointing fingers, but just hang 10, everyone. I mean, you can go and Google drowning and what happens to the body. I just find it very strange that they had to cremate Aaron because his body was so heavily decomposed. Now, most people that drown, their body stays in pretty good tact and it gets a waxy, soapy substance that forms around our whole body, which comes out from our fat, and it kind of like protects us. Sometimes bodies can be quite intact after a month, but I'm talking in a lake or something like that. Now, in the case of being in a bathtub, you would think that it'd be similar, but the thing is, someone had put the hot water in Aaron's bathtub, and it looked like one of those, because it had the jets and everything, so maybe it had a temperature gauge as well. So they said that the jets were still on and it was still hot. So that is going to decompose the body dramatically. So it's strange that if someone put him in there, they probably would have known that, because you're not going to decompose that fast. That's what I found weird about them saying that he had to be cremated because he was so heavily decomposed. It doesn't make sense. I know people say, oh, wow, well, he must have been in there for longer. That's not the case. The case is more the environment. Is the water hot? Is it summer? Is it winter? And is the water flowing? So we had water flowing and we had a hot temperature, which is going to make it go real fast. But anyways, we're going to know pretty soon when it all comes out. Hope that didn't gross you out too much. But I just thought I'd add a bit of my expertise. I still think that the housekeeper's very suspect. And I said that in my previous video because I just can't work out why she didn't go and knock on his door for 30 hours. That's really weird, because Aaron did say in one of his videos that she looks after all the dogs, she looks after him, she looks after the house. And she seemed like she was doing a pretty good job. She was always tidying and, only in that short 3 weeks we saw her often around him. Now, I'm not saying she did it. I'm just saying I can't wait to hear what comes out about what she has said to the police. Because obviously they're just waiting for all the, autopsy and everything like that to come back. Because I just can't wrap my head around why anyone would not make any contact for 30 hours. I mean, I can't answer that one. And that's why she's on my suspect radar. But other than that, when everything comes out in the medical world about what happened, we're going to have a much bigger picture. So I just feel like pointing fingers here and there at all different people that hate each other within the community, it's kind of fruitless in a way. But, do you, booze. I just don't understand, though, why his phone was left in the car. That's one of the big things that did come out throughout his friends talking to Melanie and all these people talking on these live Instagrams. For him to have his phone in the car and him to be in the house and have left his phone in the car, well, that could mean a couple of things. It could mean that, he went to have a bath and he passed out, then drowned. Okay? It could also mean that someone was trying to hide something and they've carried him in the house, already passed, and then put him in the bathtub. There's a few different scenarios you can really look at in that whole issue of the phone being left in the car, because everyone knows Aaron is obsessed with his phone. He was obsessed. He constantly was on something, talking to someone, doing lives, like he really was. And I just think that there's got to be more to it, to why it was left in the car. I mean, you got to admit, he terrorized his neighborhood. I mean, I've watched countless videos of neighbors abusing him and getting upset. There was many people that accused him of hurting animals. And when animals are hurt, I swear, it evokes an emotion in a human that is unlike anything. And I've dealt with it. I've felt it. And the emotion is you want to freaking hurt that person and you want to hurt them bad. Because you're like, you hurt an innocent animal? And if anyone doesn't believe that I know Aaron loved and adored his animal. He really did. But I'm not saying he was the best at looking after him. Because I just want you guys to go back and look at the Adam 22 podcast, No Jumper. And his poor dog, Zelda, is just sitting there the whole time. And he's just smoking non-stop. And you can't smoke weed around freaking dogs, man. They actually get pretty high off it. And it's not good for them. So, dude, you cared to an extent. But you didn't care the way most people care about their animals. And that's the sad part of it. And I understand people became more and more irate about dogs missing and dogs injured and all of that. And I understand. I understand why people were very upset with him, especially the neighbors, because they saw it more so. There's many suspects in this case and nobody has been named. I don't even know if it's a homicide still. I really don't. Like, if you go and watch all the Instagram lives that they're all doing, all the people that were closer to him and making music and being his friends, they all point to this one dude, came into Aaron's life pretty recent, and he was a shonky dude, and his name's Momo. Look, I hadn't watched Aaron in over a year, so I didn't even know this guy existed. But it is odd that he was in Walmart with this guy. Some fan saw him in Walmart that day, like that afternoon. And he said he was buying a new computer keyboard to this girl, which is very odd. He was probably buying computer duster, but anyway, it's just strange to why he was with that guy. Okay, think about it. He's at Walmart, he's been seen. He then goes home with this guy called Momo. And then someone does a police wellness check on him, and they come at 2 a.m. Now, I am not 100% sure, and not a lot of people are, to whether, because apparently the housekeeper opened the door to the police. And I don't know whether she just called out, "Are you okay, Aaron?" And someone's like done his voice going, "Yeah, I'm okay, leave me alone," or something like that. But no one really knows whether he came to the door and spoke to the police, or whether someone just called out, "Nah, he's all good." I don't know. We will be finding out sooner or later, don't you worry. After that, she doesn't go and check on him or go and talk to him for another 30 hours. And she's living in the house. And I guess the thing that really made me feel weird about her is that she would have heard the dogs barking. She just would have heard them. There was 2 dogs in there for 30 hours. So they must have been pooping and peeing everywhere. Plus, they would have been in immense stress because their owner is passed away. So I I don't know about all the nefarious rappers, so-called rappers, and all these weirdos that leeches that hung around him. I can't really comment because I don't know too much about them, as I don't know too much about her. But the one thing that bothered me was the 30-hour gap. Like, what were you doing? Like, seriously. She wasn't in her room for 30 hours, so she would have heard the dogs barking. Or maybe the person that took him into the house and placed him in the bathtub threatened her and said, if you say anything, you will be treated in the same way. And she's scared for her life. But she's an immigrant. We don't know if she's a green card holder. We don't know anything about this lady, Miss Betty. But the thing is, the cops will be investigating. And I do believe we're going to have an answer pretty soon. Not just on the toxicology report. But my biggest thing is, did he inhale water? Because that indicates that he drowns. And I think that's going to be a huge finding. I really do. But that's just my little catch up on Aaron today. And it's still very sad when you look at him, look at the photos of his little boy on the phone in those pictures before. That's pretty sad. It's just sad when anyone young dies. And you can't just say it was just drugs that did it. Because leading up, when you look at the timeline, it's all a bit fishy and suspect. You feel me? You dig? Now, by the way, don't be writing hateful comments, because I will block you and delete you, because there's no space in that in my comment section. You can write whatever you want. You can say you don't believe what I say, you don't agree with it, all of that. Just don't be hateful. Because last time I had to turn the comments off all my Aaron videos because, woo, the amount of hate that came actually mind melded my mind to see that many people were so mean to someone that had passed, regardless of who he is, what he did. He wasn't a horrible, horrible person. I know a lot of people felt that, but I've always felt that he's a very tortured soul. So anyways, I'm going to love you and leave you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Remember to let good vibes in and the bad vibes out. You feel me? You dig? Cheers, ballers. How it real, how it real, feel so real. How it real, how it real, how it real, and that feels so real. How it real, how it real.